Now, we are going into the manual process of creating organizational units, groups, users, and all other things related to Active Directory administration. First is that you go to the domain node, right-click on it, go to New, then Organizational Unit. Let's create Organizational Unit Security. I need to check this. If I don't check it, I'll tell you what it means. And if I check it, I'll tell you what it means. Now, let me check this first. This is the Organizational Unit Security. I have checked Protect Container from Accidental Deletion. This is used to protect container or object you create in Active Directory from accidental deletion. Click OK. Now, let me create another organizational unit. Go to the domain node, right-click on it, go to New, then Organizational Unit. Let's create Organizational Unit Maintainer. Uncheck this. We are not protecting container from accidental deletion. Then you will see the difference. Click OK. For security, I click Protect from Accidental Deletion. Let me try to delete it. Then you will see what happens. Right-click on Security Organizational Unit. Go to Delete. Click Delete. Then, are you sure you want to delete Organizational Unit name Security? Click Yes. You will see that you don't have sufficient privilege to delete security, or this object is protected from accidental deletion. Now, the one that is not protected, which is maintenance, right-click on that as well, click Delete, then click Yes. You will see that it was deleted. That is why it's a good practice to protect organizational units, groups, and users from accidental deletion. For lab purpose, you can delete this by going to View, Enable Advanced Features by just clicking on it. You can now see that Advanced Features as marked here, that is, it has been enabled. Then you now go to Security, you right-click on it, go to Properties, go to Object, uncheck, click Apply, click OK. You can go back and right-click on it and click Delete. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes, you can see it has been deleted. But you are not meant to go into your organization and delete any object. If you are doing that without approval, then you are putting yourself into trouble. Now, if you want to create group, we have existing organizational units: finance, HR, IT, marketing, sales. If you have a request, it would have been indicated in the request under which organizational unit you are going to create the group. So, assuming we want to create a group under finance, we have existing groups in this Active Directory, but we want to create another one. Go to this organizational unit finance, right-click on it, go to New, then Group. Now, let's create group Finance Manager. But here, we have domain, local, global, and universal. I want to tell you when to use each of these. For domain local, you use it to give permission to resources, like access to finance managers' shared drive. For global groups, you use it to group users by roles. We want to group our users into finance manager. So we are going to select global. Universal group is only used when you have multiple domains and need access across them. Now let's look at the group types. Security groups are used for permissions, while distribution groups are used for email lists. Because we want to make finance managers have access to probably a shared drive, select security groups. Then, if it is for email that they should all have access to, select distribution. Click OK. We have created finance manager. You can see it's under security group. I created this via PowerShell script. You can watch our video on how to create organizational units, groups, and users in bulk using PowerShell script. I will put the video in the description box. To create subgroup, I want to make this finance manager a member of another group. The finance manager should have access to what finance staff are doing. So I'll go to the finance organizational unit finance manager, right click on it, then go to properties, then go to members tab, click add, then I'll put finance. That's the name there. You see different AD groups for finance. I want to make a member of finance staff. If I want to add more than one group, it's either having done this, I click OK, or I put a semicolon here, then search for another finance, then look for it, then finance admin. Since the group is for finance managers, they can have access to finance admin and finance staff. So you can see I have two groups here. So it's either you do it one by one, or you put semicolon, then you search for another finance or any other group, then click OK. Click apply, click OK. Now let's go to this finance manager. Is now a member of finance admin and finance staff. So that is called nested group. We have created a nested group. That is, the finance manager is now a member of finance staff group and finance admin security group. Now, I want to create users. When you have that request, you have all necessary details that are required to create a user. They would have indicated that on the request ticket. If the organizational unit is finance, you go to finance organizational unit, right click on it, click new, then look for user to create John Smith as a user. John. Then the last name is Smith. John Smith. Then the logon name, it depends on your organization. You can have a separate Excel sheet where you can pick numbers for the user as the logon ID, or you will have a particular pattern that you will do it. But let's use DAV 0001. You will select it in sequence if you have an Excel sheet or whatsoever within your organization. Click next. Here we have 4 checkboxes. If you check the first one, when you send the password that you are going to put in to the user, they will be forced at the point of logon to change the password. So you who has sent the password, once it's changed at their own hand, you won't be able to know the password again. That makes it secure. But here, if you check this place, you can't check 2 at a time. If you check user cannot change password, that is, you expect the user to be using the password that you set. There are cases like that. Maybe if you are creating a group account, if you check this, the password will never expire. If you check this, that is, you are creating an account and you are disabling it. Maybe the user is not ready to resume at work, you can create it and disable the account, so that peradventure anybody can get hold of the password, the user will not be able to log in. So that's the use of that. But in this case, it's better we use user must change password at next logon. Now, let's create a password for the user. It is you who will create the password for the user and send it to the user, and the user will be forced to change the password at logon. So, this is John Smith. Click next, click finish. Now that we have created John Smith, You can now add some important things. You can have the description, finance manager, the office, number 2 James Complex. That is, that person is located at number 2 James Complex. Then the telephone number, you can put the telephone number of the person. Here, you can put the email, but in most cases, you will go to Exchange server to create the email for the user. You would enter all the necessary details on the Exchange server, and it will sync back to this particular place in Active Directory. Go to address, you can put the address as well. You know, I put office here, but the detailed address, you can put it, the region, then the accounts. This is the accounts. Then the profile part, it depends on the type of user you want to create. The organization will train you on how to put that part, either profile part, logon script. If you have logon script, which will make you access some things, you put in that. Then, if it is local part, you put that. If it is connect, it will give you the details on how to do that. Then the telephone, home pager, you fill all this. The organization, you put the job title, senior finance manager, the departments. Now, you want to put the manager for John Smith. We have somebody who is a manager to the senior finance manager. Select change, you put the name. That would have been in the request details. Then you check the name. Susan will be made the manager to John Smith. Then you make John Smith member of group. He's a finance manager. You give him access to that, and they will give you the details of the access you should grant that person. Then another finance, maybe is a finance staff. You just give him access as a finance manager and finance staff. You will not have access to whatsoever finance admins are doing. If you want to give him remote access, you put the path here. That is how to create user in the Active Directory. You can limit the time of the day that a particular person will be able to access the organization's network. When you have created John Smith, go under Accounts tab, go to Logon Hours. You can see he has access all day here. That is logon permitted every day of the week. If you want to deny logon on Sundays, you just go here, drag it, then check logon denied. Then I don't want John Smith to have access on Saturdays, drag it, click logon denied. John Smith will have access on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Now, you don't want him to have access before 9 o'clock in the morning. You can drag it up to 9 o'clock, then drag it down and click logon denied. Then anytime after 6 o'clock, you don't want him to have access, just drag it that way, then select logon denied. Click OK. So for John, he will not have access more than Monday to Friday between 9 o'clock and 6 o'clock. That's how to set the restriction there. Then log on. With this, you can log on to all computers. But if you want to specify a specific computer, you will now put the name of that computer which is given to you that you should have access to here. Then you click Add, click OK, click Apply, click OK. That's how to create users and set some restrictions and permissions. Now, setting and resetting password. I've showed you how to set password, but I want to show you how to reset password. To reset password, you go to this same John Smith or any user that they give you the name. You now right click on the user, you click reset password. Put a new password based on organization's password requirement. You would have been told. Check user must change password at next logon. Click OK. You can see the password for John Smith has been changed. To disable John Smith's accounts, right click on John Smith, click disable account. John Smith account has been disabled. I will tell you some things here. You can see that you have two images here that shows groups, that is more than one person. You have beside John Jackson here only one person, but beside John Smith you can see an arrow pointing down that shows John Smith account has been disabled. So when John Smith account has been disabled, he can't have access to the organization's network. To enable John Smith, right click on John Smith, click enable account. John Smith account has therefore been enabled. If someone says that they are trying to log into the network and they can't have access and you have that ticket, you can come here to see. Let's look at a typical situation of John Smith. Come here and you can double click on John Smith, come to account tab. You can check unlock account, click apply, click OK. You have unlocked the account. Now, to add member to a group, let's look at a particular member here. Richard Jackson is not a member of any group. Let's look at a typical group, security group. That is, we want to add Jackson to, let's say, finance group. The spelling has to be correct. Even if you type 4 or 5 words, you can check the name. Now, we want to specifically add Richard Anderson to finance staff. But we are not adding to finance manager or finance admin. Maybe he has a lower rank. You can just give him finance staff, then click OK, click apply, click OK. So Richard Anderson, let's click on him again. With this member of type, finance staff, cannot have access to what John Smith has access to, but can have access to what John Smith has access to under finance staff, but will never have access to what finance managers are doing. Now let's look at the 3 together. Let's go to the member of tab of the 3. From here to the middle to this side is the ascending level of their position within the organization. This is the lowest, this is middle, and this is the highest. So Richard Anderson can have access to everything shared under finance staff, but will not be able to access what is being shared under finance manager and finance admin. John Smith will have access to what is being shared under finance staff and finance manager, but will not see what is being shared under finance admin, because Susan Thomas alone in this case has access to finance admin. So that is the implication of the different membership of security groups. Now, to delegate control, that is either to create, delete user account or reset password, that is mostly done under IT. So let me put someone under IT admin. Let me put Kevin here under IT admin. Add to IT admin. I'm putting Kevin under IT admin. Now, I want to delegate power to Kevin to do some things. I'll go to IT organizational unit, Right click on it, then click delegate control, click next, add Kevin. Let's type in Kevin, check the name, Kevin Allen, click OK, click next. What do you want Kevin to be able to do? Maybe create, delete, and manage user accounts, reset user password, read all user information. You can give only appropriate access to a particular person at a particular time. So click next. Then you have successfully completed the delegation of control to Kevin Allen. Click finish. So Kevin can do all those things you have selected for him to be able to do. Now, these are the best practices. Use organizational units for delegation and group policy object targeting. Don't use them as permission boundaries. In a new video, we'll be looking at creation of group policy objects. Among the best practices, use global groups to group users by role, nest into domain local to assign resource permissions. Avoid password never expires unless policy requires it. If you set password never expires, for this, under Accounts tab, account expires. If you say never, that shows that person is a permanent staff and the accounts, you may not know when it will expire. But for contract staff, you put a specific date that the account should expire. Once that date expires, then the accounts will be locked. So this is only used for permanent staff, and for contractors or temporary staff, you can use this. When setting password, never check password expires, because if you set password never expires, if that person leaves the organization with the password, then can still have access. Protect critical organizational units from accidental deletion. That has been shown in this tutorial. Make sure you have appropriate documentation of everything you do in the Active Directory should any matter arise. Use PowerShell for automation, but before you use PowerShell, test in a lab environment before you test in production environment. Then, the last of the best practices is to monitor and audit privilege groups and membership changes. Now, these are the security notes. Never reset password without proper identification process for users. If I want to reset password for Joseph Jackson, and I have another person called Joseph J. Jackson, and I mistakenly reset for Joseph J. Jackson instead of Joseph Jackson, or in this case, I wanted to reset for Joseph Jackson and I mistakenly reset for John Smith. John Smith will not be able to have access to the organization network. You need to check properly the accounts you want to reset the password. Use role-based access control and principle of least privilege. For the purpose of this video, if you want to give least privilege, they will give you some access that you have to add here, so you can pop it in here and check the name, click OK, apply. That will give the minimum access the new user joining the organization is required to work with. When they resume, they can now make further requests. But in granting access, only least privilege access is being granted to every person joining the organization. Now, we have just covered the key skills every Active Directory admin needs. That is creating organizational units, groups, and users, managing passwords, and keeping accounts secure. Remember, keep your Active Directory structure simple. Follow best practices and always manage access based on roles. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. In the next one, we'll explore the automation of the creation of organizational units, groups, and users using PowerShell. See you in the next video. Thank you.